Hello, Boston Celtics fans, and welcome back. Today's video brings a lot to unpack, so buckle up because there's plenty to cover. The Celtics still have at least one more shot at redemption in this playoff battle, maybe even more if they can pull off a crucial win in the next matchup. Right now, every ounce of support from the fans becomes even more valuable. The team is facing a turning point, especially after a significant update regarding one of their key players. Sadly, his condition has worsened, and he's expected to be sidelined for an extended period. What's certain is that he won't be taking part in this elimination tournament anymore, forcing the squad to adjust their focus and game plan moving forward. Following a heavy-hearted locker room after the recent loss, the players were candid about the need to move past this disappointment. They acknowledged that the only way forward is to shift their mindset, regroup, and fight for every remaining opportunity. Determination's not in question. The drive to extend this playoff run remains strong. One player in particular emphasized how crucial it is for the team to adapt quickly to the new reality, fully aware of the massive impact this absence has on the collective. Losing a leader of this caliber isn't just a tactical blow. It's an emotional one that requires everyone else to step up, shoulder more responsibility, and bring a unified front to the court. Now, let's be real for a moment. Blind optimism would be naive. This upcoming game presents significant challenges, and without their cornerstone player, the Celtics are navigating through rough waters. While they are still regarded as the favorites, especially with home court advantage, expectations are tempered. Some fans remain hopeful, others are skeptical, and that's natural given the circumstances. What will be fascinating is to see how the team responds to this adversity. Will they rise to the occasion, fueled by the need to prove doubters wrong, or will the weight of these setbacks be too much to handle? It's worth pointing out that not everyone shares the same level of enthusiasm about this next clash. The general consensus leans toward the Celtics being the better team on paper, but the emotional momentum seems to favor their opponents. As much as statistics and rosters matter, basketball is also a game of intangibles, heart, grit, and sheer willpower. And in these playoffs, those elements often tip the scale. The team needs to bring not just a good game, but an inspired performance to reignite the fire within themselves and among the fans. The challenge is steep, especially considering the team's historical struggles when missing this particular player. Despite boasting a strong supporting cast, the so-called super team label feels less convincing when their key figure is absent. Recent stats have been unforgiving, painting a picture of a squad that finds it difficult to maintain efficiency under such circumstances. Sure, the role players have moments of brilliance, but consistency becomes elusive. In the last outing, several individuals failed to meet expectations. One veteran couldn't leave his mark. Another underperformed noticeably, perhaps a reflection of his age catching up, and a third player was simply a non-factor. Another teammate's contribution, particularly in the second half, was underwhelming, adding to the team's overall struggles. Players who had previously delivered clutch performances seemed unable to replicate that magic when it was needed the most. Now, the burden falls on these very players to elevate their game. The loss of a leader forces others into more prominent roles, whether they are ready or not. One key figure has been a consistent presence throughout his career, rarely missing games, but now with the spotlight shining brighter on him, his recent performance leaves much to be desired. His latest showing was frankly disappointing. Although surface-level statistics might suggest a decent output, the reality tells a different story. Turnovers plagued his game, and his overall impact was far below the standards expected of someone in his position. Jaylen Brown's availability has never been in question. Appearing in 92% of possible games speaks volumes about his durability. Yet availability is not the same as impact. In the fourth matchup of this series, his 20-point game was among the least impressive of his career. Despite the numbers, the efficiency was lacking, and the ball security was alarming. This raises doubts about his ability to be the primary offensive anchor for an entire season, especially in high-stakes situations like these. As the focus shifts to Game 5, Brown himself acknowledged the need to prepare mentally and physically, underlining the importance of moving forward after his teammate's injury. The task is clear: defend home court with everything they have left in the tank. There's no denying the defensive effort in the previous game was abysmal. Allowing the opposition to pile up 121 points is simply unacceptable, and Brown didn't shy away from calling it out. The team's lack of resistance was glaring, particularly in the second half, where defensive rotations broke down repeatedly, allowing the opponents to score at will. As much as the offense needs to click, a revival of defensive tenacity is paramount if the Celtics are to survive this series. The big question lingers: can Brown rise to the occasion? Can he maintain a high level of play consistently enough to carry the team to victory? Offensively, the team desperately needs a reliable creator, especially with another star player delivering unstable performances. Hope is not entirely lost. In 39 games without the sideline star, Brown has averaged 27 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and maintained a respectable 50% field goal accuracy. His attacking game is solid, though his 35% from beyond the arc remains an area for improvement. Historical data since 2018 backs his potential, but statistics alone won't win games. It's imperative that Brown not only scores efficiently, but also embraces a leadership role on both ends of the floor. Offense is vital, but defense could be the real difference maker. Reflecting on the collapse in Game 4, where the defense crumbled, the inability to make crucial stops led to the team falling behind by 9 points, eventually resulting in a devastating loss and a critical injury. That incident still lingers in everyone's mind, but dwelling on it won't change the past. The team must channel that frustration into a determined effort for Game 5. Looking back at the second half of Game 4, the numbers tell a grim story. The opponents lit up the scoreboard with 70 points, hitting an astonishing 67% of their shots. Defensive breakdowns were rampant. One rival player found his rhythm, scoring with ease, while another consistently created his own shots. The Celtics allowed wide-open looks and failed to contest effectively. By the time the fourth quarter arrived, the outcome felt inevitable. The team struggled to keep pace, and the opponents capitalized, controlling the tempo and the scoreboard. In critical moments, the defensive lapses became more pronounced, with the opposition exploiting every mismatch and converting high-percentage shots. Inside the paint, the opponents were lethal, making 3 out of 4 attempts in restricted areas and 6 of 8 in the paint overall. Mid-range attempts were also falling, with 2 out of 3 successful, and they even managed to sink 1 out of 3 long-range shots. The Celtics, meanwhile, couldn't find a consistent rhythm offensively. While they did manage to hit 2 out of 4 three-pointers, their overall execution was lacking. This recurring pattern of underperformance, particularly in crunch time, has been a troubling theme throughout the series. In the fourth quarter specifically, the Celtics have been averaging a meager 20 points across the 4 games, with shooting percentages hovering at an alarming 23% from three-point range and less than 30% overall. Their offensive rating plummets to 92. While defensively, they're conceding a staggering 124.7. Such disparities are unsustainable, especially in playoff basketball where margins are razor thin. The net rating of -33 in fourth quarters underscores the severity of their struggles. Speculation will always swirl about whether the injured player's presence could have altered the series' trajectory. While we can't rewrite history, it's safe to say his influence would have been significant, particularly in a game as pivotal as the fourth. Defensively, the team has been a shadow of its former self, with a rating of 125, a number that raises immediate red flags. Opposing teams have exploited defensive mismatches relentlessly. One player in particular was targeted repeatedly through pick-and-roll scenarios and isolation plays, revealing his inability to keep up laterally. These tactical adjustments by their opponents created space and easy scoring opportunities, further widening the gap. The situation becomes even more puzzling when observing a player whose performance has drastically declined. Once a reliable contributor, he now struggles to reach double digits in scoring, failing to recall the rhythm and aggression that once defined his game. His finishing at the rim is lackluster, converting only 4 out of 9 attempts in restricted areas, an unacceptable rate for someone towering at 7 feet 3 inches. Explosiveness seems to have vanished, and multiple missed layups highlight a hesitance that shouldn't exist at this level. Instead of authoritative dunks, he opts for softer finishes and frequently comes up short. his mid-range and perimeter stats are equally concerning. Missing all 3 attempts outside the paint and converting just 1 of 5 from deep illustrates his shooting woes. Even at the free throw line, where he should be automatic, inconsistencies persist, with only 9 out of 13 made. Over the series, his field goal percentage stands at a dismal 5 for 18. This alarming regression has sparked widespread criticism across social media, a stark contrast to the praise he received in healthier seasons. The lasting image of this playoff run may unfortunately be defined by these struggles. Injuries have undeniably plagued the Celtics this year. Multiple players are battling through various ailments: ankle sprains, knee issues, thigh strains, and lingering wrist problems. The cumulative effect of last summer's international competitions and a grueling playoff campaign from the previous year has left the team physically and mentally drained. While injuries are part of the game, the timing and severity of these setbacks have been particularly cruel to Boston. Despite these obstacles, the path forward remains clear. Securing back-to-back NBA titles is an immense challenge, but not an impossible one. The question now revolves around desire. Who wants it more? Recent games have shown the Knicks out-hustling the Celtics, securing more rebounds, winning more possessions, and ultimately taking more shots. In the 4th game alone, New York out-rebounded Boston by 12, translating into more scoring opportunities and naturally more points. Throughout this series, the Knicks' hunger has been evident. While they haven't necessarily outclassed Boston in pure skill, their effort level has been unmatched. Even their best game, Game 4, wasn't a blowout, but it exposed Boston's inconsistencies. For the Celtics to mount a comeback, shot making will be essential. This isn't limited to three-pointers. Boston has struggled across the board. Even high percentage looks close to the basket have been squandered, with shooting percentages in the paint, mid-range, and corners all lagging behind league averages. Surprisingly, the team's best shooting zone has been beyond the arc, far above the break, where they maintain a respectable conversion rate. However, isolated shooting success won't be enough. They need a collective resurgence, fueled by grit, determination, and perhaps inspired by adversity following Tatum's injury. Sports history is filled with teams rallying in the face of hardship. Whether the Celtics can add their name to that list remains to be seen. The task is daunting, but not beyond reach. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a shocking move that has left the basketball world reeling, the Boston Celtics announced the acquisition of NBA superstar Kevin Durant. The trade, which caught fans, analysts, and even insiders by surprise, has the potential to reshape the balance of power in the Eastern Conference and possibly the entire league. Durant, widely regarded as one of the greatest players of his generation, has long been a dominant force in the NBA. Known for his scoring ability, versatility, and high basketball IQ, Durant has earned numerous accolades, including multiple NBA championships, MVP awards, and All-Star selections. His arrival in Boston immediately elevates the Celtics to new heights and adds an extra layer of intrigue to their already promising roster. While the specifics of the trade deal remain under wraps, sources close to the situation have confirmed that Boston made a bold move to secure Durant, offering a combination of players and future draft picks in exchange. The Celtics front office, led by President of Basketball Operations Brad Stevens, has made no secret of their desire to build a championship contender, and acquiring Durant was a significant step toward achieving that goal. For the Celtics, this trade represents a major shift in their trajectory. After coming close to securing an NBA title in recent years, the addition of Durant gives the team an elite scorer to pair with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The trio of Durant, Tatum, and Brown promises to be one of the most dynamic and potent offenses in the league. With Durant's ability to stretch the floor and create mismatches, opposing defenses will have their hands full trying to contain this star-studded trio. Durant's arrival also injects a sense of urgency into Boston's championship aspirations. The Celtics have consistently been among the top teams in the East, But they have yet to capture an NBA title since 2008. With Durant now in the fold, expectations will undoubtedly skyrocket, and the pressure to deliver a championship will be immense. The move has also sparked debate about the future of the Eastern Conference. The Celtics were already considered one of the top contenders, but Durant's presence elevates them to the level of the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks and the high-powered Miami Heat. The Eastern Conference, once seen as a two-horse race, has now become a more wide-open and unpredictable battleground. From a broader perspective, this trade underscores the ever-changing nature of the NBA. In recent years, we've seen superstars switch teams with increasing frequency, and Durant's move to Boston is just the latest example of this trend. The decision to leave the Brooklyn Nets, a team that he helped build into a contender, speaks volumes about Durant's desire to win and his willingness to pursue opportunities that give him the best chance to succeed. For Celtics fans, this is a moment of celebration. Durant is not just a superstar, he's a player capable of leading a team to greatness. With him now wearing the green and white, Boston fans have reason to believe that their team can finally bring home another championship. The anticipation for the upcoming season has reached a fever pitch, and the NBA landscape will never be the same. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.